Welcome to America Current Affairs. We are diving headfirst into a story that honestly feels like it was ripped straight from a Hollywood blockbuster. But this is very real, and it all went down just a few days ago.
I am here kidnapped. Just imagine hearing those words. And they're not from just anyone. They're from Nicolas Maduro, the sitting president of Venezuela.
But here's the twist. He wasn't speaking from his presidential palace in Caracas. Nope. He was sitting in a defendant's chair in a federal courtroom in Manhattan. This is absolutely unprecedented. For the first time in modern history, a nation's leader was captured by force and flown to the United States to face criminal charges.
So the billion-dollar question is, how on earth did this happen? Well, the answer lies in a top-secret, meticulously planned mission called Operation Absolute Resolve.
It was an incredibly gutsy plan. We're talking elite helicopter teams flying low and fast, hugging the terrain through dangerous mountain passes to stay off the radar. They stormed Maduro's compound, and within minutes, he and his wife were in custody and being airlifted right out of the country. Just wow.
And let me tell you, the US brought the thunder for this one. This was an astonishing show of force, executed with surgical precision in just 5 hours. We're talking over 150 planes, including the best stealth fighters to take out air defenses, specialized jets to jam all their radar, and a command and control plane acting like the quarterback in the sky. All while CIA agents on the ground fed them live intel and the Space Force provided pinpoint mapping.
I mean, just look at this image. It really gives you a sense of the sheer scale of the forces they put together before launching the mission. But who were the actual soldiers, the boots on the ground, who went in and grabbed Maduro?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. The operation was this unique team-up. You had Delta Force, the Army's most elite commandos. Their job was basically to kick the door down and handle any threats. But right on their heels were agents from the FBI's hostage rescue team, and their job was to slap the cuffs on and make the official arrest. This sends a very clear message. Washington wanted Maduro captured alive, not killed.
And according to President Trump, the whole thing was so fast and so shocking that Maduro, quote, got bum-rushed right so fast that he didn't get in that being a reinforced steel vault, a safe room inside his home.
Okay, so we've covered the how. Now for the really big question, why? Why take such a monumental risk to snatch the leader of another country? The official reason is a 25-page federal indictment.
The U.S. has charged Maduro with something called narco-terrorism. It's a very, very serious charge. It basically means the U.S. government believes he used his power as president to help out drug cartels and terrorist groups, essentially turning his own country into a criminal enterprise that threatened America's national security.
And the details in this indictment are just staggering. They accuse Maduro of helping ship tons of cocaine to the U.S., of ordering violent attacks and even murders, and using street gangs as his personal muscle. If he's convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in an American prison. But as you can imagine, the rest of the world had some pretty strong opinions about all this.
And yeah, the raid instantly split the entire globe right down the middle.
America's rivals were, to put it mildly, furious. Iran immediately called it an illegal act of kidnapping and demanded Maduro be set free. And you heard pretty much the same thing from Russia and China.
But the criticism wasn't just coming from overseas. Right here at home, leading Democrats slammed the operation. Presidential nominee Kamala Harris called it unlawful and unwise, and she warned that we've seen this movie before, and it could drag America into another conflict.
But on the flip side, key US allies like Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu were celebrating the raid, calling it a strong and resolute action. So, a total split.
And then you have the big international bodies, and they were deeply, deeply worried. The head of the United Nations called the raid a dangerous precedent, arguing that it completely shreds international law and could lead to global chaos.
So this single event has created massive geopolitical shockwaves. And it leaves us all asking, where do we go from here?
Let's start with the economy, specifically oil. You have to remember, Venezuela is sitting on the largest proven oil reserves in the entire world. We're talking more than Saudi Arabia. So when something this big happens there, the energy market definitely pays attention.
So you'd think oil prices would shoot through the roof, right? Well, surprisingly, not really. The immediate impact was pretty small. The price of oil barely budged, just rising a little to about $58 a barrel. It seems the world market is pretty well supplied for now, so there wasn't a huge panic. But the long-term game is what's really fascinating. President Trump has promised to get the oil flowing again by having American companies go in and rebuild Venezuela's broken oil industry. If, and it's a big if that happens, all that oil could flood the market and maybe, just maybe, lower gas prices for everyone. But it would take years and billions of dollars to fix an industry that's been falling apart for decades.
And all of this brings us to the biggest question of all, the one historians will be debating for decades. Is this a necessary act of justice to take a criminal dictator off the board, or is it a reckless move that just set a terrifying new precedent for the world?
I mean, really think about it. Has the world just stepped into a chaotic new era where powerful nations can just go and snatch the leaders of smaller ones whenever they want? Only time is going to tell. So what do you think? For more deep dives into the huge stories shaping our world, make sure you subscribe to America Current Affairs.
That's all for this explainer. Thanks so much for watching.